Welcome to the Morning Huddle for Friday, May 28th of 2021. Happy Memorial Day weekend. And I'm really excited about today's topic because we're going to be talking to librarians today and about the Miami-Dade Public Library System. And before I introduce my guest, I just want to share a story that I'm really passionate about libraries, about books. As you guys know, everywhere I go, I start a book club because I think it's magical that you can live through other people and experience what they do and their accomplishments, their defeats, whatever. You can learn and like live multiple lifetimes through reading. So that's always been magical to me. My dad taught me that. He passed away when I was 10 years old, but he left me that gift of loving books. And with the library system here in Miami-Dade County, I remember the old library that used to be where Bayside is today. And I remember that big marble building, and it was intimidating, but I would spend hours in the stacks and roaming that building up and down looking for books. And I remember when the library in downtown opened, the new one, and I remember the grand opening. I remember in sixth grade, I think it was, our class took a field trip because they were debuting their brand new card catalog system that was computerized. So you didn't have to dig in those cabinets anymore. I remember that. And it was a marvel. It's like, cool, you can just type in and find any book you want. Now, of course, that's old hat, right? With the kids today, but it was a marvel back then. And I remember the local branches that we had so many local branches and still do a couple of blocks from your house. And I would go in and get like not one book or two, I would get like 10 or 12. And then I remember paying the dues because I didn't want to part with the books. So, and today there's amazing things like, for example, I just finished reading Dune, the book on sci-fi, and I read it all through Libby, the library app. So I didn't have to pay any money for it. I read a classic science fiction book all on my phone, even on my Kindle, all through the Libby app, all for free because of the great work the Miami-Dade Public Library System is doing on our behalf. So that's why I'm so excited about today. And I want to introduce our two guests today. Unfortunately, we were going to have Mr. Ray Baker, who is the director for the MDPLS, Miami-Dade Public Library System, but he got called into another meeting, so he apologizes for that. Maybe we can bring him back in a future segment and talk to Ray Baker because he's an amazing leader and does great work. But we have two members of his team here, and I'm really excited because we have Lydia Lopez and Mery Garcia. So let me introduce them to you. Lydia Lopez is currently the Legislative and Municipal Affairs Manager at the Miami-Dade Public Library System, or MDPLS. MDPLS serves approximately 2.5 million residents at 49 locations in the county, which includes libraries in 17 of the county's 34 municipalities. Prior to joining MDPLS, Ms. Lopez was the assistant to the deputy mayor at the Miami-Dade County Mayor's Office and the assistant director of HR and budget at Florida International, excuse me, Florida International University Libraries. She holds a master's degree in public administration and a bachelor's degree in art history from Florida International University. She is currently pursuing a master's degree in library and information science from the University of South Florida. That's Ms. Lydia Lopez. Now we also have Ms. Mery Garcia. Mery Garcia is a reference librarian at the main library of the Miami-Dade Public Library System. She has received training in foundations, government documents, patent and trademarks, and business resources. For more than 7 years, she maintained the Federal Depository Library Collection and is currently the Florida State Publications Depository Program Librarian. Please help me welcome Ms. Lydia and Mery to the Morning Huddle.
Hey everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, ladies. Great to have you here on the Morning Huddle. And I know that you have some stuff to show us, but I just want to leave it wide open in terms of the message that you want for us to learn about the library system.
Well, first, on behalf of Ray Baker and the libraries, we wanted to thank you, Danilo, for including us in this morning's huddle. It's wonderful to have an opportunity to share how our libraries can support entrepreneurs and small business owners in the county and how we can learn what you all need in order to make your lives easier in the business community. And many of you are familiar with all the services and resources we offer for adults and children, but today we wanted to share with you specialized information we have about business. And so reference librarian Mery Garcia is going to walk us through various resources and provide a demo on how to use Daniela's favorite reference solutions, as well as how to navigate our website and how to sign up for a free library card. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mery.
Hi, everyone. We have a PowerPoint presentation, and we'll be going back and forth between the PowerPoint and the actual website. So I'm going to try to share the PowerPoint with you. Give me just a second. Okay, is everybody able to see the PowerPoint?
Yes.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Okay, so Miami-Dade Public Library has changed over the years. As Danilo mentioned, we used to be paper-based, primarily, books, but now we have transitioned to an online environment, and we have lots of free resources that are accessible with a library card. So the business resources that we have online are available 24/7. We have tried to expand those resources over the years to help business owners. So you can experience a one-stop business information source for planning and funding and operating and investing. So we have resources that are broad, that cover as much information as possible for business owners. Some of the resources that we have for starting a business, the one in the middle, the business plans handbooks, is not only a physical book, and it's actually a series of books, something in the range of 30 to 50 volumes. It exists also electronically, so you can access it with your library card from home. So the business plans handbook is really helpful to business owners because it gives you a template customized to the particular business type that you're interested in. So let's say that you wanted to create a business plan to create a bakery or to improve on a bakery. You can actually find a business plan that's tailored to bakeries. So check that one out because it's very, very helpful. The other two are websites.
And Mery, if I may, I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
Yes.
On the business plan, it also can be useful to Ms. Gaslin or any business owner to see where they are today and see where the ratios and their metrics are. So what should be the sales? What should be the marketing? How much should I spend on marketing? Look it up. Those are real business plans.
Exactly. And then you can go to the other sources that we're going to talk about and then include the the customized statistics to your particular business. The Small Business Development Center and the Small Business Administration, we partnered with them last year, in 2019. They came to several of our locations and actually conducted classes. When we go back to our normal class schedules, you'll be seeing more of that collaboration in the future. We also have a database for nonprofits. So if you're a nonprofit, a 501(c)(3), we have a foundation directory online, which is available at the regional libraries. Unfortunately, it's not available to all branches. It's just the regionals and the main library at the moment. Grant Space is their training website. So anytime that you would like to learn something about philanthropy, you can go to the Grant Space website that they have called Candide Learning. And they have a combination of free as well as fee-based classes. But the free ones are excellent, and they do these classes on a regular basis. So you can check that out. Now, marketing your business. Here's where we're going to talk about reference solutions, but there's also demographics now. I'm just going to say that Merchant Archives is really a historical database. It has directories that industry directories as well as corporate directories that give a historical representation going back over 100 years. So we're going to focus more on demographics now and reference solutions. Now, sometimes the merchant archives database is actually a collection of databases. So I've seen it in other library systems where it includes a corporate database called Merchant Intellect, as well as another one called Merchant Online. It tends to be like a group of databases, but in our case, we only have the historical part of it. Okay, so Demographics Now contains series of reports that you can customize by geography. So you can actually select up to 6 geographies, and it'll give you industry reports, census reports, lifestyle reports that can be useful in your business plans. So keep that in mind. So it's very flexible when it comes to geography, very powerful database. Reference solutions, which we're going to look at right now. I'm going to pull away from the PowerPoint for a moment and try to share with you the actual website, because I know a lot of you are interested in how reference solutions actually works. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing for a moment, and I'm going to go back. And go to our website. Can everyone see the site?
Yes.
Okay. So I want to show you how I got here, because everyone always asks, how did you get to that point? Okay, so this is the home page for the Miami-Dade Public Library. Can everyone see that?
Yep.
Okay, so you can access the same thing from many different vantage points. So we have a little picture down here with a man and a woman looking at a computer. That's the learning and training section of our website. That's where you're going to find reference solutions. You're also going to find reference solutions up here where it says quick links. You'll see towards the middle, learning and training. So you can either click there, or you can click on the people that are over here. Now, remember, you're going to need a library card. So let's say you're a new user to the library, you've never had a library card before, you can get a library card. So right here up on the top under quick links, you can either click there, or you can click over here, right next to the 2 people looking at a computer. There's a green card. That's where you can get a library card. So you don't have to physically come to the library anymore to get a library card. You can actually apply online. You'll get a barcode just like you see here, and you can start using the databases right from your computer at home. So that's something new that we incorporated a year ago. So, and also I want to show you, because Danilo was talking about apps. He was talking about one of the apps that's under ebooks. So I want to show you a page right here, mobile apps. So a lot of the products that are on our website that you can use for businesses are here. You'll see apps that you can download to your phone. So it's no longer restricted to a desktop computer. You can access these resources from your mobile app, from your mobile device, from your tablet at any time. The important part is having the library card. And the MDPLS app in general, when you download that, it'll have a lot of access to these other resources. So I'm just giving you a hint. You can do it from your MDPLS app, or you can download these individual apps for the different products. So going back to reference solutions. So we said that reference solutions can be found under quick links. So we're going to go to learning and training, and we're going to see all of these resources. we can probably spend a day on some of these resources
Yep.
because there's a lot of them. And especially these right here in the middle are really useful to business owners, especially this one, LinkedIn Learning. So as I go down, so the list of resources is listed alphabetically or it's listed by category. So we're gonna go to category to jump ahead and go to business and investment. So everything related to business is under this heading. Okay. And there are other databases here like Business Insights Essentials is another database that we can talk about in another class.
And Mary, it's so much, huh?
Yes, it is a lot. And you can spend a couple of weeks. I mean, Value Line down here, we can spend a week by itself or Morningstar or any of these.
Incredible.
So going to business reference solutions. Reference solutions used to be called Reference USA. Sometimes it's also referred as Data Axle. And in fact, when you take a look on the bottom, it says that there's an app, a mobile app associated with it. But just keep in mind that the app is under the name Data Axle. So it's just the name of the company that owns Reference Solutions. So MDPLS has 3 modules. Reference Solutions actually has 6 or 7 modules, depending on the library system. So we're going to focus today on the business module. Now, just to mention, give a quick talk about this one. The U.S. jobs internships portion. The internship part, no, but the U.S. jobs is incorporated within the U.S. business, and I'll show you. I'll show you. So every time that you look up a business, you're going to see a listing of job openings associated with that business. So you don't have to necessarily go here to do a U.S. job search. It will come up when you do a business search as well. Okay. Now the U.S. job section module is powered by Indeed. So this would be like the same as if you went to Indeed.com, except that it's embedded in here in this product. So it's like a one-stop shop portal. So with Reference Solutions, the great thing, what makes this database powerful is that it has these filters, and the filters can be, you can access them by clicking here, additional filters, or it's also known as the advanced search feature. Now, a lot of times we start here because callers to the library will say, well, I'm looking for a corporation, and they'll give us the name of the corporation, and they'll want to know, you know, the more information they can give us, the better. So sometimes we can just put the name of the corporation here, or they tell us specifically in what state. And the more information they can give us, the better. Sometimes they give us the name of the executive, and sometimes they only have a phone number. Like sometimes they get spammed and they want to check, oh, who's that phone number from? And you can do a reverse phone search here. Okay. So when you go to these advanced filters, see if it opens up, you're going to see lots of categories here. Now, granted, the more categories that you select, the shorter your search results will be. So you're going to be searching a database that roughly has 15 million records. And it handles a variety of business types. So some of them are small business types, and you'll see records that are not very full, don't have a lot of information. And then you'll have records that are very robust, because these are corporations that have been around for a long time, have an established track record. And then you have, and notice here where it says ownership, it has a combined public and private. But public are the companies that are on the stock exchange. So you'll see reports in their profile that they submit to the Security and Exchange Commission. So these are the companies that you're going to have the most information about. And you can find it through Reference Solutions, or you can also go to their website and look at their reports online. The private companies, not so much. as the name says, private. What Reference Solutions does for these types of companies is they use an algorithm to try to estimate. They estimate the sales projections for the company, the size of the company. And so keep in mind that for private companies, these are algorithms that are filling in the information. Public company, it's coming from reports that are actually filed. Okay, so keep that in mind. So right here in the center, you'll see 3 types of records. Okay, so one of the things that we like about this database is that you can identify out of business records. So on the internet, when you do a search, you'll notice that sometimes Google will bring up companies that no longer exist. So it's important to have a database where you can actually, remove them, because it's misleading sometimes if you give, the phone number of a business that doesn't exist anymore. The check mark verified businesses, those are businesses that Reference Solutions has actually contacted by phone and has verified the information in their database. That's another thing that we like about them, that they try to verify the information on a regular basis. The unverified businesses are businesses that either they're very new and they don't have enough information about the business, or they haven't been able to contact the business within a year, and so they can't verify the information, so it's not checkmarked. Okay, so
Ms. Mary,
yes.
can we, let's say that I'm a nonprofit and I'm looking for big companies or corporate sponsors for my programs. Okay, or I could be a for-profit and I want to sell to big corporations, right? Near my office. So how could we do that?
Okay, so they have a feature here called number of employees. So you can sort of
so it's a big corporation. So it would be hundreds, perhaps.
Right, you can select one of these, or you can select multiples of these, and then you can go to the business type, and you can select what type of business in particular. So let's say maybe manufacturing. Okay, now I want to point out something about the SICs. Now, Reference Solutions has gone beyond the 6-digit code for the SIC. So for some of these, if you go all the way down, in this case, they don't, but there are some categories, like for instance, restaurants, where they've actually expanded the 6-digit code. And then when you get to the bottom of the list, you'll see the actual names of businesses.
Right.
So that is not typical, that you wouldn't find that in SIC codes in general, but Reference Solutions has expanded the code so that for some business types, you'll be able to narrow it down by the name of the business, which is unique to Reference Solutions.
Wow.
We want to select manufacturing. Now, manufacturing has a lot of categories here. We want it to be as broad as possible. And what was the other criteria? So we want it by size of business.
So big company, manufacturing, and then my location, right?
And then you want to select geography last so that your search will be more accurate. So by location, we get, there's a map-based search, which is really interesting. You can do it by city, metro area, zip code, county. Now, Miami-Dade County doesn't have, too much under manufacturing, but we could try it. Or we can do it by state. So let's say state. If we narrow it too much, then you won't get too many results. So let's see. So for state, I'm gonna click here and put in Florida. We just want Florida by itself. Okay. And so now what we want to do is update. We want to update and see how many businesses it's able to bring up. So it says 5 in Florida that meet the criteria by number of employees. And when we click on view results, these are the ones that come up. So we want to take a look at the first one and see if it met our criteria. So you're going to see that in this profile, you have a verified record. Some companies do have toll-free numbers. In our database, they don't show up, but there's another database which we have, which does provide the toll-free number to all of them. Okay, it does give you the website, and as you go further down, here's the Indeed job listings, the SIC codes. So the primary business type for this company is under utility contractors. So that's what their primary business is. The next code is the newer, the North American Industrial Classification Code, which supersedes the SIC, but the SIC is still being used. They're listed under NAICS as power and communication line and related structure. Okay, so you can narrow your searches further by selecting primary. So this company does other things. I mean, there are other things listed here, offices of other holding companies, scientific and technical consulting services. But if you go to primary, then your search results will be limited even further or will be more specific. So you get a small profile of this company. If they're verified, you'll usually get some kind of summary introduction of the company. There is a section for mapping. The mapping section is provided by Bing. So you can actually get a satellite picture or a map picture of it. And you can actually narrow it down considerably. And then you get some business demographics. So it says that this corporation has 14,276 employees. They have a high corporate volume. And it tells you the type of business it is. This is a public business. So you would expect this company, if it's public, to have a report. And the year that it was established was 1969. And some of you may be interested in their credit rating. Now, this database doesn't have the DUNS numbers. The Emergent Intellect database does contain the DUNS numbers to these. And the DUNS numbers like the number to access the credit report of a company. So in this case, we don't have the credit report, but we can see that Reference Solutions is indicating that it's excellent. Okay. So that would be important for a bank to know, if the credit rating of a company. Now, years in the database, it's a well-established business. It's been around for 19 years in the database. Now, Reference Solutions has a historical database, which is another module. Some libraries subscribe to it. And in that database, you can go back historically almost 20 years and find out if the company has changed its name, changed its location. You can see the growth of the company over time. Now here, the management directory, some patrons call us and they say, I want to talk to the CEO. We can give them the name of the CEO or any other, manager. And depending on the company, I mean, there may be branches that are listed as well as the corporate headquarters. So you see the stock number. So this is their stock symbol, it's DY. They're in the New York Stock Exchange. So that goes along with being public. And notice that their 10K report is listed. So the 10K report is also available from the Security and Exchange Commission website. But Reference Solutions has incorporated in here so that you don't have to, leave the database. So I just want to go back for a second. Let me see if it lets me go back. Okay, so I'm going to close that out. And then towards the bottom, they're giving you some expenditure information, payroll, rent and leasing, telecommunications, utilities. Sometimes that's useful to include in the reports. And then you get some graphical representation. Now, sometimes you want to include graphics in your reports. And reference solutions, when I go back, you're going to see that they give you opportunities to include graphics. So you have charts and you have a heat map. Now, some banks actually like to see charts in your reports because you can show information. Information tends to be clear when it's in graphical format than just putting numbers.
Wow.
And at the end, sometimes it's easier to understand information when it's in graphical format. So towards the bottom here, this is if they've ever, this has to do with funds that they've secured. So this company has secured funds or loans. So it gives you some information there. And then these are the nearby businesses. And it shows you that one of these companies has gone through a merger and an acquisition. So this is the first time I've seen this. This is interesting that it's including information about other companies nearby, mergers and acquisitions.
And what they do, right?
It's very interesting. And then further down, you want to know what your competitors are doing. So who are your competitors? Okay, so you can go into each of these and find out more about those competitors and get a profile of them.
Right.
Mary, Enrique had a question. He wants to know if this database self-feeds or if a form has to be filled out.
It updates, the business database is on Thursdays and Fridays, it updates. So once a week, weekly, let's say, and it does it automatically. They also have a data feedback. So if you find any information that might be questionable, like you think, well, maybe that doesn't look like the right number, and you want them to go back and check, you can do that by sending them filling out a little form. So that can be from library patrons or anybody using the database. They're always trying to update and keep the information as accurate as possible. Now there's
you can download it, right?
Oh, yes, yes. So you have a button here where you can download the report. Now you have a couple of options when it comes to printing. The comma delimited is the most popular because it's the best one for mailers. So that one tends to be, some groups use the database to create their own lists of companies to sell to market to. So the first option is the easiest one to create mailers. The Excel option is really to create your own personal spreadsheet. So I'm going to show you something before I go back. And there's 3 levels of detail. There's the summary level, which is just a line. It's just a line with the name, address, phone number. And then the detail is the report, is the actual report that we're looking at. So this whole report will come out if we select detail. And then custom is where you select the field. So maybe I don't want to see the bin map, the Bing map. We want to see just the first 5 fields of the report. So you can select that, or you can remove the ones that you don't want to see. So the reports are customizable. Now I'm gonna broaden the search because we only got 5 records. Okay, and we'll go back to the corporate tree for a second. So I want to broaden my search because, and I want to include, I want to clear this field because I want to get more. Okay, here, 2,830. Okay, so this database, when you look at it on the bottom, it says that you're limited to 250 downloads or prints per search. Okay, so that means that this first page has 114 records. So you're gonna hit 250 fairly quickly. So you're gonna select them, you're gonna go again, and you're already, with those 2, you're pretty much almost at 250. Let's go to the third one. See what it says here. Select all of them. So let's say that I hit my 250 downloads. Okay, so once you hit your 250, what you could do is go back to revise, because you remember you have 2,830 results. Maybe you want all of them. You may or may not want all of those results. So you can always go back and revise search. You want to view results again. And then you want to go to where you left off. So I left off on page 3. So now I start on page 3. I select another 250. And as you download them, okay, so I'm going to download this record, see what it looks like. So this is what the record looks like. Are you able to see the Excel spreadsheet?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to have
You have to
to,
share that that window.
yes. Okay, let me see if I can do that.
So while you do that, Ms. Mary, I wanted to just point out to folks that I remember using this type of tool about 15, 20 years ago, 2002 or on there, and it would cost $2,000 to $3,000 for the license to use it.
Yes, these are very expensive products, and they're free, and they're so flexible to use. This is probably the easiest time in history to use these products, because before we used to have to access this information through databases called Dialog, and those would charge by the minute.
There were terminals, right? They were terminals.
There were terminals. You picked the database that you wanted to use, and you were on a timer. You were on a fast track. You had to go in there, find what you wanted, and get out.
That, and also the CD-ROMs.
Yes, and the CD-ROMs or the film.
Or film.
You'd be
So
scrolling.
now you could be at your house and at your fingertips, you have a prospect list, guys. That's what that is. Those are potential buyers of whatever it is you're selling, and you got the list for free. So now you can start marketing to them. After you take the marketing class and know how to do it intelligently, now you have a list and it didn't cost you a penny.
And it's giving you tons of information. I mean, there you go. You can address it to the executive. You can, here's the executive names specifically. You find out how big is the business itself, how much do they make, what their phone numbers are. I mean, it's a lot of information that you're downloading.
And Mary, you have the corporate org chart.
Yes.
So now I know who the managers are. Now I can go and say hello to them on LinkedIn or other places, right?
Yes. Yes.
So it can transform your sales efforts to have this tool. And this is just one of, like, you saw how many there were, guys. One of many, many tools, and look how powerful this is.
And this can grow over time. Now there's a feature. Let me go back. I have to go back to the database. Sorry, guys.
So Miss Patricia is asking if there's emails, Mary, on the records.
So that's
there are, right?
That's always a common question that we get. Let me see if I can go back. Okay, so we should be back to the database, expanded. So there's two things to mention here. Let's see. So when we did the search, you get a little pop-up on the top left-hand corner that says 204 with email addresses, more information. Okay, so the email addresses are something, is a part of reference solutions that is purchased separately. So they don't actually include it in the database. So when you click on that, you get a little pop-up and they tell you how to communicate with them for the email addresses. Now, email addresses are not really that difficult unless, you know, it's a tiny little company, they really don't have a website. For the larger companies, you should be able to find the general email addresses on their website. Some are easier than others. So having a list, a quick list is efficient, but it's not necessarily impossible for you to do on your own as well. But just keep in mind that there is a fee that Reference Solutions charges for that. But that is a question that we get asked a lot.
So there's workarounds that, Mary, just like you said, once you know the names of who the managers and decision makers are, there's all kinds of little things you can do to research online how to get that email.
Oh, absolutely.
It is
Absolutely.
not hard because we have social media, we have all these social networks, and we have blogs and all these things that people are putting together, and they put their email on it.
Exactly. Most companies want to be contacted one way or the other. The trend has been with the newer companies to have an email sort of almost like an email box where you fill it in and you send it to them. But a lot of the older companies still use an actual email address that you can contact them. But you'll see some newer companies are actually preferring for you to go to their website, submit an email through their actual contact search box.
Right. There's a question from Ms. Nurvi, Mary. Nurvi, did you want to ask a question?
Yeah, hi, thank you so much. I gotta say, this is like, whoa, it's blowing my mind because the power of data, once again, we can see how we can use it, and it's great that the library is putting all of this together. I'm definitely gonna dive into it. I know I have a library card. I have to get it because I was trying to access now as you were demonstrating it. So again, thank you so much for everything that you're doing. I do have a question, but before I get there, because this is so relevant, I do have to say that, as I was mentioning earlier to Danilo, we through BA&M Association, we're having a youth leadership program that we are facilitating at the main library in downtown. And that is also another of the great resources that the library system is offering to the community. So I want to say thank you for that as well. And invite all of you, of course, if you have any kids or know any kids between 7 to 17 years old. This summer is a youth leadership program where we're going to have them develop their communication skills, public speaking, and with a focus and emotional intelligence. Danilo, that's one of the things I want to talk to you about. That'll be later because we would love for you to be there at least at the kickoff meeting as our special guest. We met through Toastmasters, and you're such a great speaker that I think that it would be an inspiration to the kids to listen to you and bring a message.
Oh, wow, thank you.
Yes, and so my question in reference to this database, how can I get my business in this database, Miss Mary?
Well, first of all, do a search on your company name, see what comes up. If they're not listed, go ahead and use the data feedback portal, and send them a message and tell them you're not included. Hey, this is my contact information, and I'm sure they'll be happy to include you, because the database includes not only small businesses, but also large ones. So it's a wide range of sizes that are included in here.
Yeah,
And it
and we're like,
also, yeah, no, go ahead, Nuri.
no, that's exactly the why it raised my concern, because I would like to found, for example, for our nonprofits, if there are people that are trying to support programs that are similar to our initiatives, or me as a small company, sometimes big companies are looking for a small local business to partner with. So I'm definitely going to check if we're there, but I did wanted to make sure that I know how to go about it in the case that we're not, so that we can also be a part of this.
Sure, sure. No, they welcome feedback, definitely.
And
Okay,
Mary, I
thank
think
you.
registering as a DUNS with DUNS starts getting a record of your business, right, in the public domain.
Yes. Yes.
So Nuri, think about registering with, get your DUNS number.
Oh no,
If you
I
don't,
got it.
okay.
Hopefully I'm there, but since we're not, we've been in business only for like about 6 years, and I'm not sure exactly from where it's pulling the data from. It seems to be from many different places. So we might be there, but just in case, I know how to go about it. But yes, I do have the DUNS number, and it is needed, especially when you're doing contracts like with the government or looking for a loan. So yeah.
Yep. So whenever you apply to with a creditor or things like that, that goes on your DUNS record, and that becomes then something that you're dealing with a lender, right? Or also with your vendors. So that's how you get on the radar without even having to talk to them. But it's great to know that you can give them feedback and say, hey, I'm not included. Please add me.
Absolutely.
So that's fantastic. So we are running out of time, and this is the challenge, right, Mary and Lydia?
Oh no.
So that there is just so much here that we could spend literally a day per all these things.
Yeah. We haven't done the chart.
We haven't even done the charts, yes. So, wow, look at that. So this is where they're located. The list of the prospects that you have for making sales to.
You can also use it for like your business plans. I wanted to add, when you're looking for investors, like you do have to make some type of like a market study, whatnot, and looking at those charts, like I'm already thinking about using some of this. This is great.
Yes, I think somebody else wants to chime in, Miss Gasoline and Miss Paget.
I just want to say you guys have never seemed to amaze me like this platform, and the information that you guys deliver is always A1. And the NAICS, I never knew about it until it was time for the PPP, but it was always in the system of the Brad Street. When you have to prepare for grants or whatever have you. But this was very informative. I can't wait to rewatch this video and you guys save this, because I mean, it was phenomenal. So
Miss
again,
Gasoline,
I appreciate you guys.
We haven't even shown you the white pages, right, Mary?
Right.
So Miss Gasoline, that's delivered for you.
So
the white pages database.
I love it.
Because you're B2C, remember, you're business to consumer, right?
Yes.
So what you saw today was good for B2B. But if you're B2C like you would use the white pages as a resource to find out where are my customers near me.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Know Yes, Ms. Gasoline, thank you so much for your support as well. Laquette?
Good morning, everyone. So I just want to piggyback off what you said. I think it's absolutely amazing information that we continue to receive, and the way the technology is continuing to move forward for in the future. But my question actually goes back to the beginning. It's very simple. Back to applying for the library card online.
Yes.
When you apply, do you have to apply for a new card, or if you already have a card, are you able to sync the information?
If you already have a library card and you've lost it, get in contact with us. Call one of your local branches. We'll be happy to locate the number of your card if you need it, or you can update the information and get a new card if you've lost the original card. But we're there to help you. You can give us a call at any time.
Okay, thank you so much for that, and thank you for the information.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Ms. Paget. I want to give you our featured guest the last word today, but before I say something, before I do that, Mary, I just wanted to point out to everybody, okay, because we didn't get a chance. We just scraped the top of the iceberg. There's
Yes.
so much more here. Please explore MDPLS, Miami-Dade Public Library System. There's something for everybody. Now, check this out. There are four parts of any business. Doesn't matter how little or how big you are. Excuse me. So the first one is value creation. How do you add value to others? You got to define that. The other one is marketing. The next one is sales. The next one is value delivery. And the last one is financing. By my estimation and what I've seen of what you've seen today that Mary has shown us, the Miami-Dade Public Library System has something for you for each of those areas of your business. So there we saw the sales piece. We didn't go into the marketing piece because there's a marketing piece of finding out what are the demographics in your area. Who are the customers that are surrounding you? The value creation. We talked about the business plans and how you can test your ideas with the data that's in the system before you even launch your business. And then operation and value delivery. There's all kinds of literature on best practices, periodicals about what others have done so that you can deliver a better service. And on the financing piece, there's also data and actual financials from actual companies that are in your space that you can then look at to see what are the financials of a bakery? What do they look like? Because then you can see and put that into your business plan or into your operation and adjust to what you need to do to compete. So with that, I want to leave it to Ms. Mary and Ms. Lydia to tell us what you want us to know going forward, because we ran out of time, but we can do this again and delve into another aspect of it. Ms. Mary, what do you think?
Well, just to quickly mention, we're also a U.S. Patent and Trademark Resource Center. So if you have a business and you want to trademark a name or you have an invention that you want to sell later on as part of your business, get in contact with us. We can give you an orientation, get you started. Just let us know.
Wow,
And
for
also
your next big idea.
And also we have co-working spaces, which we didn't get to talk about, where you can come and network. All of our branches have spaces that you can use for your business groups. Just give us a call. We'll let you know what spaces are available and what dates are also open. And we also have a service online called customer care at mdpls.org. You can send us your questions online and we'll respond to you quickly. But we're available to you 24/7.
Miss Mary, do you mind putting your information in the chat, please?
Oh, sure.
And Ms. Mary, can you talk a little bit about UMedia?
Okay, so UMedia, let me go back. UMedia Miami, these are educational areas inside the North Day, South Day, Lemon City, and Hialeah Gardens branch. These are to teach primarily teenagers skills in video and music production, graphic design, photography. It prepares them for a career in technology areas. And some of them overlaps with patent and trademarks because they have the 3D modeling and printing, as well as the podcasting. So all of that sort of intertwines with businesses. So they're preparing to become the business leaders of tomorrow. And the interesting part of UMedia is that they've started a virtual library. And I haven't shown you that, but on our website, under locations, you'll see a location called Virtual Library, and you'll see the computer classes that they are offering virtually. So that's something new that's being added.
Wow.
And you make our co-working spaces at the West Kendall and Miami Beach regional libraries. And those are also, they're providing classes. we've been out because of COVID, but in the coming weeks and months, you should be seeing more offerings coming from the co-working spaces in those two branches as well. But a lot of our classes are virtual, so check our website under the events page, as well as under the UMedia virtual library page.
Fantastic. Any last thing you wanted to add, Ms. Mary, in terms of you're going to put the contact information, but anything you wanted to add that you wish more people knew about MDPLS?
You know, knowledge is power, and we're trying to help small businesses grow and expand. And there are a lot of free resources that are available to you that are being underutilized. And once you know that it's there, take advantage of it. And it's an empowering it's empowering information for you. So we're here to help.
Thank you so much. And Lydia, is there what would you want more people, more residents to know about MDPLS?
I'd like them to know that they can call us or email us with any questions or concerns they have, and we're here to help them figure out the answers. So we're here to guide them through the process. As Mary elaborately went into that one database, we can do with all the other ones. So we're here to help you figure it all out. Just reach out to us.
Fantastic. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for being on today, and I hope you'll come back because there's so much to share and always new stuff on the pipeline. So guys, let's give them a big round of applause for the amazing things that we saw today. Thank you, Lydia. Thank you, Mary. I can't wait to keep collaborating with you and seeing how we can serve small businesses in Miami-Dade County. So I'm really excited. I want to wish everybody a happy Memorial Day weekend, and we'll do it again next Friday.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Ready.